Gosh, lightning's everywhere. That really looks like a funnel to me. Okay, so this is truly the sketchiest thing. I cannot drive under that. It's ready to go tornadic. I want to time lapse this, but I don't want to die. This is the storm that's north of where Reed is. It's coming this way. 7 is right up in front of me somewhere. And then I'm gonna see if I get on the other side and keep shooting this as it billows out. Look at this swoop. God, whoa! Time to get in the car. After watching lots of rotation and a funnel or two, but no tornadoes, on a big storm just south of Pratt, Kansas on May the 9th, I finally had to bail and accept defeat for the day. I kept my chin up and hoped for better luck in Colorado the next day. Rolling down out of the hills, north of Dodge, heading back towards I-70. Shooting today in Colorado, might be as high as Cheyenne. Try to get on this radar early and see when the storms are going up.
Welcome to Colorado.
After spending the night in a truck stop just outside of Dodge, I headed off early the next morning for Burlington, Colorado, as chasers from all over were converging on an elevated 10% risk of tornadoes due to initiate near the Denver area before heading east.
So I'm hanging out in the parking lot of Love's. I got Storm. What was that? Storm something. Media. Storm Media. Over there. And we're just kind of hanging out, waiting for initiation.
While the majority of storm chasers pushed much closer to Denver, I held back and waited to see if I could drop underneath one of the monster cells as they moved to the northeast.
Leaving Hagler, this stuff is going on right here. Wall cloud moving in. Seemed like there was some rotation over here.
As I raced north, a new cell emerged just behind me and quickly began to catch up to where I was. I pulled over to have a look as there was quite a bit of suspicious lowering as it closed in on me from the south.
Again, I can't get over this speed. It's just over the butt. I'm going to try to take a couple more shots to get out of Dodge. Rotating wall cloud, like right there, hail core, gotta move. First tornado warning up on my little system here. Where am I? It is directly south of me.
Two tornado warnings went up directly in front of me towards Akron, but in order to get to those cells, I would have had to do some core punching, which seemed like a bad idea since a 30% chance of baseball-sized hail was still in the forecast. As there seemed to be no way to get to the tornado-warned cells without core punching, I lost my nerve and ducked into a car wash to wait out the hail.
And then it's really feeling in hard. I'm glad I didn't try to make a break for it because it's still bulging out and it could have ran right into me. And there's 3 tornado warnings right in front of me. What happened to Andy?
Now if we go forward, watch this area right here around Akron, or Akron in Colorado, whichever way you pronounce that. Watch that blow up there into orange and reds. And now, there you go. Twin circulations.
The main challenge of storm chasing that I faced in 2023 was trying to chase in a relatively new van with a sunroof. If I caught a couple good-sized softballs on that sunroof, my season would end abruptly as I would have to get it repaired before continuing on. So with huge hail in the forecast and cells converging on my position, I had to bail back towards the southeast. I headed slowly back to Burlington, stopping to shoot the lightning along the way.
Heading down towards Amarillo and then over to the Panhandle.
Turn left onto US 385 South.
As I woke up the next morning back at the Loves in Burlington, I felt better about having to bail on the tornado-warned storms after finding only a brief lounge spout was reported for the day. But I was now faced with a difficult decision. If I stuck around Dodge, I had another elevated 10% chance at tornadoes, and Dodge was relatively close by. On the other hand, there was another 10% chance of tornadoes way down near Lawton. After staring at the HRRR, I decided I would take my chances down near Lawton as those cells looked much more conducive for tornadoes. By late afternoon, it became clear that I chose a great day to chase tornadoes as an outbreak occurred that stretched from Kansas down into Texas. The problem was I kept making one bad decision after another. After driving 400 miles and having to change directions twice due to storms dying right in front of me, I finally turned around and headed back towards Tuttle, just outside of Newcastle, and suddenly 3 tornado warnings went up at once. I pulled over to try to start shooting, but one of the tornado-warned cells was suddenly heading right for me.
Stay with it. It's moving almost due north. Tornadoes on the ground. And folks, this is going to be 2.5 miles southeast of you folks in Tuttle.
Still getting a little close. Just nipping at the heels of this cell. I'm not going to go under it. But I'd like to knock on that door without getting smashed. Okay, tornado sirens are going off in the town right in front of me. I am in the path of this thing, so I'm going to back up just a little bit as I lose the light. Just got to get clipped here as it builds out.
Tornado on the ground right here. It's lifting north right now. If it stays on its present, again, speed and line of fire here, it's going to go east of Tuttle. But if you live east of Tuttle, safe spot, lowest level, center part of the house, interior bathroom, don't panic, just go.
Okay, very slowly, gonna creep up on this again, right on the edge of the precipitation, the back edge. Check, there's nothing directly behind me if I am heading east. So I'm gonna keep mooching up a little bit and then just see if there's anything to see. The light's fading fast and I'm not gonna get too close too fast. I'm gonna be out of light. And once that happens, I'm not shooting anymore.
After backing up to get out of the path of the Tuttle storm, I headed back to the Shell station just west of Newcastle to watch the radar and the warnings. Unfortunately, I now had 2 major problems to deal with. First of all, it was getting dark fast and I never chase after dark. Secondly, even though the Tuttle storm was dissipating and there were new tornado warnings popping up, they were in populated areas like Newcastle and Norman. I generally try to avoid chasing in suburban areas as I don't like to add to the traffic if residents are trying to get out of the way if something big is coming, and I don't like the idea of waiting at a red light in gridlock with the tornado moving in.
West 24th, safe spot, you gotta go now. You have about 2 minutes. You got about 2 minutes, lowest level, center part of the house. Okay, let's back out of this. Where's it going after that? Let's back out. I'm sorry, just keep backing out here. Okay, there it is. Okay, there, it's going to Norman.
Trying to multitask, you can hear the tornado sirens again.
12 tornadoes ended up touching down in the outbreak of May 11, 2023, but I managed to miss all of them due to either poor decision making earlier in the day or the abundance of caution as it was too dark and too populated as I finally got to an actual tornado warning. As the tornado I was chasing was now over Norman and headed up to Oklahoma City, I held back and decided instead to shoot some time lapses as I marveled at the crazy sunset light on the mammatus clouds and lightning going off in all directions.
leaving Bentonville, heading west. I think this is Newcastle. And heading into Oklahoma pretty soon.
In 12 miles, turn right onto US 412.
On my way to the Panhandle, around Amarillo. And just to see what, there's only a 2% chance of anything today. It didn't look like that much on the HRRR. But time to start heading west.
I was feeling pretty low as I left Bentonville, Arkansas on May the 18th. Even though I had a great weekend visiting my sister's family and attending the graduation of my nephew from the University of Arkansas, I had been striking out on almost every storm that I chased for the past week. Following the 2 storms that died on May the 11th, I had 2 more storms die on me on May the 12th, and as I headed to Bentonville that evening, I was beginning to develop a storm killer complex. At least 6 storms had died on me now after long drives to get there, and with only a 2% chance at tornadoes on May the 18th, I was sure my luck was not going to improve. And I was right. After driving 200 miles, I got close to a storm in Claude, Texas, and this happened.
Just so this is on the record, I'm sitting in front of a pilot south of Amarillo. Again, almost to Claude, and it died. I mean, I don't know how much longer I can do this. Everything I head towards dies. Just more convinced than ever that I'm never going to see a tornado in my life. I was all the way up there. You understand? All the way up there. All I had to do was sit. If I had seen this kind of rotation, I'd keep going. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I came all the way down here and both of those storms died. They just fell over and died. So now I'm going north again, so those storms by Reed, I guess, can come back to life, because that's what I do. I kill storms. I kill storms.
Right after accepting the fact that I was never going to see a tornado and realizing that I was indeed the storm killer, I got to Amarillo and headed north to a new storm that was gathering strength just south of Masterson. As I rolled up to the Masterson storm, I noticed some crazy rotation in a low wall cloud to my left, which had just popped up. I pulled over, and instead of the storm dying as expected, it continued to grow. As I jumped out to start time-lapsing the new storm, I didn't realize that I was starting to film what was about to become my first tornado.
So I'm trying to get to what I think could be a tornado or a tornadic situation, but it's on the other side of this cell, which just intensified as I was driving, so I'm waiting for it to kind of cool down a little bit. But this, over here, definitely is rotating. Time-lapsing this, it is coming my way. The plan is I'm not going to bail to the north because I end up right under that. I think I'm going to have to bail to the south. Check the radar, it is definitely tornado warned. pretty soon. Okay, so I got some footage. That's the good news. The bad news is I have to bail because it's raining and I can't get the rear GoPro on. Although I might end up going somewhere else to try to get that done. But I'm freaking out a little bit and I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go in the slow lane, which is right over here, so I can head by a truck. Alright, so now I'm rolling perpendicular to what could be a tornado. It's definitely a rotating storm. I'm gonna roll just maybe to the top of this ridge and then pull over.
It wasn't until after I got back home that I found out that the National Weather Service had confirmed a tornado on my storm that barely made it into the F1 category, as it had winds upwards of 90 miles an hour, which broke tree limbs, destroyed a detached garage, and chucked a dumpster across a parking lot. So as far as tornadoes go, this one wasn't exceptionally memorable, except for one thing. My storm-killing curse had been broken, and I just witnessed my first real tornado.